What's up, peeps? Um, I was at work today and I was thinking, oh, it'd be pretty cool to do like a Twink, like a new character guide, like what gear you should look out for, and try to keep it under the one Krono value. Because, I mean, if you're a new player and you're just starting out again, some of you might not realize, but we have these things called Kronos now, these little gems right here. It says, consume it to add 30 days of membership time to the account. So you can buy these on the Daybreak store, but you can sell these in game for money and items, of course. You can trade them with players. So if you're starting up and you don't want to have to go through the game with no gear, if you'd like to, buy a Krono and then trade it in for platinum and then gear up, essentially twink your new character. I figured I could do a quick guide, a quick what items I would buy and make sure that it all stays under the one Krono value. So right now Kronos are trading for about 9,000 platinum. It's July 9th, 2018 on the Coirnav server. So Kronos are about 9K. Now, if you just started playing and you wanted to buy one, there's this little button, these two buttons here. The DB button is the Daybreak store, and you can buy the Kronos here. So you see on the left here the categories. If you go to membership, it's right here. So you can increase, you can buy now. 18 bucks. Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say it's expensive, but it's not exactly cheap. But so yeah, this is how you get them. Then I don't know if I want to hit buy now. I don't know if it buys immediately, but can't remember. Anyway, so pick these up, and then the place to trade, to buy and sell, obviously is the common lands. It used to be East and West common lands, but they've merged the two, and now it's just common lands. So provided you bought your Krono, you traded it to somebody, you got about 9K, well, now you have 9,000 platinum to spend. Now, this is really ghetto because I don't know how to do video editing, but this is what I have right here. It's a Excel document of my items, the value on those, the items that I recommend so that it adds up to less than a Krono's worth, and then the value over here. So you can see the Krono values 9,000. If you buy all of the items that I recommend, you're going to end up with about 1,400 platinum. So you'll have enough money for all of your spells. You'll have enough money for Spirit of Wolf potions. If you want to get really tricky, you can buy Misty Thicket Picnics and Quenos Afternoon Tea, which are both food items that can up your stats. I don't really use those because I'm just leveling. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not min-maxing my character yet, so. But if you want to spend your money on that kind of stuff, go for it. Now, for any of the players that are kind of new to the progression servers, this website here, tlpauctions.com, is a great place to take a look at what's being sold in the common lands. So if you see, you can click tunnel, and it shows you literally this is the auctions that are going on in common lands. I don't think it hits every auction that goes on, but it gets a majority of them. So it's a pretty interesting tool, especially if you're not able to log into the game right now. You can at least get an idea, try to plan your character out, which is a lot of fun to do. If you really like this game, it's a lot of fun to, take a look at the pricing of everything. If you can afford something, it's really cool to see it's fallen into my price range, because as time goes on, item value drop. But yeah, great website. Take a look at it. It's hooked up to Alakazam, so if you click on the items here, it will, you can click on each item and it'll show you the buying and selling history of the items. So you can obviously see up here the buyers, people want to buy a fungi tunic for 6,500, but they're selling it for 12,000, or let's say 9,000 here. you can get the idea of like how the market's looking, and if this seems too expensive for you, and you've seen one like, so for example, let's look at like an Obulus Death Shroud. Now this is obviously what, 7 Kronos worth, but you can see that some people sell it for 6. So the prices do fluctuate, and if you've seen it sold for less but you can't find it now, maybe you wait. You know, this website gives you a good idea of, you know, tracking the market, and gives you good information, especially if you like numbers and stuff like that, which I do. It's a pretty cool place to go. But I would recommend going tlpauctions.com. Take a look at whatever items you're looking for, and you can get the history. It's a really good time. So let me get right into it. So I'm going a lot of what I'm using right now on my 36 Enchanter. A lot of it is what I recommend because it's just, you know, just it's been working for me, and it also provides all the stuff that I want. So early on, you just want to stack stamina, health, like, and then intellect and mana. Those are like the main 4 things you want. Charisma is like last. I mean, you might as well get charisma. I'm not sure if it helps your charm chances or like the length of time that your charm lasts, but either or, if the item does have charisma on it, you can chalk that up as like a 5th place win, but it's a win nonetheless. So let's just get right into this. The 2 rings that I'm using on my character are the Valium Fire, no, it's Platinum Fire Wedding Ring. Sorry, not Valium Fire. I have it wrong here. Valium Fire is Velios. So I'm using the Platinum Fire Wedding Rings, which is not this item. Hold on. Well, either way, I have the wrong item listed here, but it's 55 hit points and 5 AC, and you can get them for 250 platinum each. That's a steal. It gives you health, which is really important, especially early on. You know, it'll help you live a lot more. You don't want to die. It's just a waste of time. The AC will also make you take way less damage early on, so I don't ever really want to go with anything but the wedding rings, the fire wedding rings. So right off the bat, that's what I would go with. Pretty sick. I'm using Azure sleeves just because I picked them up really early and I haven't replaced them, but going over the value and, you know, looking at the auctions and stuff like that as of late, I recommend doing the loam encrusted sleeves, which is right here. Loam encrusted sleeves, 4 AC, 5 int, 5 mana, and 10 fire resist. Right. So as I was saying, int, mana, health, and then charisma last. So this ticks the box. Intellect, mana, it's a really good deal. 500 platinum. You might be able to even get it lower, like 400. And that's a good thing about EQ too, is you're bargaining with people. So you can usually get that number down 10 or 20% from what they're selling it at. I mean, most people buy at like half or like 30% less. So if you offer up like 10 or 15% less, they'll usually take it, is what I found. So that's a good pair of sleeves. Next one, there's a lot of loam encrusted in this, so keep that in mind. Loam encrusted cloak for the back. So loam encrusted cloak, got 3 to all resists, 5 AC, 5 mana, 2 strength, 1 int, 8 agility, 3 charisma. Kind of like a well-rounded thing. The problem that I have with cloaks is that a lot of them are really expensive. So in this price range, I would say that this works. I mean, it's worked for me. A lot of the other cloaks out there, like there's the Ixarhide cloak, which is like 75 mana and 75 hit points. It's a lot more expensive though, so I'd recommend this. Next up is the loam encrusted robe, which is about 1,000. Now you can either get this or the Toll Punger's robe, but Toll Punger's robe is about 900 platinum, and it has haste on it. So if you want it early on, if you want to melee with like a melee weapon, you might want to pick up the Toll Punger's robe, but keep in mind you're not going to be meleeing for very long. Like once you get in the 20s, probably like early 20s, you're going to stop meleeing. Maybe late 20s, but still, eventually the haste part of the Toll Punger's robe is going to run out, and you're going to want to have other stats on it. So loam encrusted robe, 9 AC, 80 mana, what? 5 int, 10 agility, 10 dex, and then 10 magic resistance. Pretty good. 80 mana is a lot. I like it. Alright, next up we got the ear slot. So at first I was using the golden sapphire earrings, 2 of them, because I got them for like 150 each, which wasn't that bad. But then I realized the hammered golden hoop was down to like 300 gold or 300 platinum. Hammered golden hoop is minus 15 AC. Yeah, it kind of sucks or whatever, but 75 hit points, 8 stamina, and 5 magic. This thing gives you just a ton of hit points, and when I saw it was at 300 platinum, that's too good, too good. So the earring I was using that I have in my other ear, but was this golden sapphire earring. I got them for like 150. You can probably get them easy for 150, maybe 200. It's not a big deal, but 4 int, 2 strength. Okay, it's not really much in the ear slot for cheap. That's why I was surprised at the hammered golden hoop. Like the straight hit point and mana earrings are like 1,000 or 2,000 each, so kind of gets expensive at that point. But I like those 2 earrings a lot. For the face slot, we got incandescent mask for about 350. Remember, these prices are subject to whatever the market's at and haggling, of course. But incandescent mask is 350. And this one is 3 AC, 5 intellect, and 7 charisma. Ticks all the boxes. It's good. It also has summoning haste, so if you happen to be using your animation spells, if you're not charming for whatever reason, it'll summon it quicker. So maybe early on, it'll, like, if you need to summon your pet real quick, it might help there, but I don't know if it would really help that much, because once you get to later levels, you're going to be charming. They just do so much damage. Let's see, where were we at? Wolf Fur Slippers for feet. If you want to spend more money, go with the Golden Freedy boots, because they're 9 int, 9 wisdom. But on the 1 Krono plan, Wolf Fur Slippers are pretty good. So these are 2 AC, 7 agility, 20 mana. Gives you some mana, some AC. That's pretty much it. I don't know if agility really affects casters and their AC numbers, but agility is kind of just whatever. 20 mana is good for 100 plat. Not bad. Dusty bloodstained gloves for your hands or necks, so about 50 platinum for those guys. These are, once again, 2 AC, 25 mana. Cheap, you know, is good. Oh god, these are no trade. Okay. Damn, I didn't realize there were no trade. I thought they were available. Well, I wonder. Well, they were on the website to be sold, so let's go with the backup, and we'll do mine, which is Imp Skin gloves. Yeah, Imp Skin gloves. They're 700 platinum, so it'll cut into the 1400 that was remaining. But Imp Skin gloves has 5 int, but it also increases your direct damage nukes. So it'll increase your nukes, I think, by like 10% or something like that. So it's okay there. A little bit more expensive. Once again, for some reason, the website told me Dusty Bloodstained gloves were available for sale, so maybe people are like multi-questing, and that's kind of, multi-questing is like when they turn in the no-drop parts, and then they give you a droppable part to turn in afterwards, and then you get the item back because you're the last person to turn in the full. So like, let's say you have to turn in 4 items, they'll turn in 3, and you'll turn in the 4th item, and you'll get the item. You'll get the quest reward. So I bet that's probably how you get the gloves, but I digress. Let's move on to the good stuff. This stuff's like Ixar Hide Cap, real good. So Ixar Hide Cap, 10 AC, 7 int, 7 wisdom, 25 hit points. It ticks both mana and HP. Really good, really good. It also has a reagent conservation, 3. Once again, when you summon a pet, so the Enchanter pets take tiny daggers to summon, and it will have a chance to not use up the item by like what, 1%? Not even anything. It's like not even a thing. Next up, Loam Encrusted Pantaloons. Here we go with the Loam Encrusted again. It's 5 AC, 10 HP, 5 mana, 10 disease resist, 3 int, and 8 agility. So pretty good, pretty good. Next up, Sarnak Arcane Fetish for 300. This one comes, it's a next slot, comes with 6 int, 2 dex, and 5 charisma. Also comes with enhancement haste, which is pretty cool because it effectively it hastes your buffs. So like anything that would last more than 72 seconds buff-wise, it reduces the cast time by 30%. Pretty sick. So like when you're buffing other people, when you're buffing haste, clarity, yourself buffs, it'll make it cast faster, which during combat might be good if you want to like be tricky and buff your party, and if buffs are falling off, or it's a nice little bonus to have on top of the stats that it gives. Sarnak, just did that one. Embroidered black cape. Now my shoulders are 4,000, and realistically, it was a gift to me, so I didn't really spend the money on that, but it has a ton of resistances, like 20 fire resist and like 10 magic and a bunch of AC, so it doesn't really give me stats outside of resistances, so it's not that big of it's not really an upgrade, it's just different, just more expensive. The embroidered black cape is 50 platinum, and it comes with 4 AC, 15 hit points, and 20 mana. Okay, straightforward, good. The braided kinch cord is 300 platinum. Yeah, I bet you could find it for less too, because it's a little bit underwhelming as far as the stats go. But realistically, there's not too many builds that give int. So this is one of the few. Maybe that's why the price is kind of like that. But 2 AC, 4 int, 8 hit points. Simple, decent. Now for the 2 wrist slots, I have a loam encrusted bracelet, which was, how much was it? 450. And you can honestly go with 2 of these if you really want to, if you prefer this, but it's really up to you. It's 3 AC, 15 mana, 3 int, 3 charisma. So pretty good stats for Enchanter. I mean, it ticks all of those boxes. The second one was the Sarnak Bracer of Honor, and I just put this on because of the hit points. They're really pretty much the same. They're not that big of a not that big of a difference. So if you want to have a little bit more mana, go with the other bracelet, or go with the other bracers. If you want a little bit of hit points and charisma, go with these. But really, it's not going to make that big of a deal. These are cheaper. These are only 200, so as opposed to the 450 for the other ones. Then we get to the weapons. So for the first, I don't know, probably 20 levels, I was doing a lot of soloing with my pet because the early pets do a lot, and I was using the oh god, what is it called? It's like the emblazoned brand. I wonder if I can find that real quick here. So emblaze. No, wow, what was it called? Oh yeah, Fiery brand. I think, right? No, okay. Well, I forget exactly what the item is called, but it looks like a torch. I'm sorry, this is dumb, but it looks like a torch, and it can start nuking for 14 right off the bat. So if you want to do that, if you want to be melee at the beginning of the game, there's a lot of really cheap melee weapons that you can buy. Really, any of them work. If you want to start out and buy like a really cheap melee weapon, in the long run, it's not really going to do much for you. You're going to get to the point where the mobs just hit too hard, and you're not going to want to sit there tank, right? So, Cone of the Mystics is what I use currently in my main hand. It's 1100 plat. It's 5 AC, 5 int, 5 wisdom, and 50 mana. So it's just a giant mana battery or whatever. Second off, my offhand is a Stein of Mogok. It's 375 plat, and it is a weapon. So if you wanted to, use this as a weapon, you could if you're in your main hand or whatever. But just keep in mind that I'm pretty sure that you can't. Yeah, this is primary only, so you'd have to find an offhand if you wanted to use this main, but that's beside the point. This comes with 10 int, 5 dexterity, and 25 disease resist. And if you buy it unused, it comes with 3 stacks of right-click light healing. So I haven't used this yet because I haven't really died ever. But if you are like getting close to death and they're like bum rushing you because you know you're at low health, you get aggro from like everything. You could pop it on yourself and keep running, or it might be just a like a good way to not die. So there's that little upside at it, but once again, I haven't ever really used that part of it. So last item, for 100 plat, Sarnax Ceremonial Dagger. And it's kind of funny because I don't even have a range slot on my character yet, so it's just like, I was trying to, what I really want is there's this sandwich of foul-smelling herbs. It's like 5 stamina, like 50 health or something like that. I want that, but it's kind of expensive last I checked. But this one, it just comes with 3 int, 3 wisdom, and you can just leave it in your range slot, and it'll just sit there and provide you 3 int. So, not bad, not bad. And the really cool thing about this build is it gets you going early on, and this will last you well into your 40s or 50s until you start, getting into like the plains maybe. And even then, like this stuff, like a lot of this stuff comes from Coirnav, so it's kind of like not. It's part of the expansion, so it's going to be a little bit better than the vanilla world stuff is anyway. Yeah, I think that really kind of just does it. I guess if anybody sees this video and you have any questions or comments or whatever, please feel free to hit me up on Everquest Coirnav. It's Dipset, Dippset. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it's worth, hope it was worth your time to watch. So until next time, peace out.